Guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video and hope you guys are doing well today. This video is going to be talking about the major changes between Wrath of the Lich King and Cataclysm, in my opinion. Now, this is going to be one of the most common topics you'll hear going into Wrath of the Lich King, as Wrath of the Lich King was this big expansion that reigned supreme. It hit the big player numbers, it had the cool storyline, it had the be-all and end-all, and Cataclysm, while it started really high, fell off a little or a lot, and that's what people remember. Now, one of the first changes will be the major revamp of Azeroth. Zones will be updated to be a modernized questing system instead of a more vanilla questing system. This is a thing that will divide the community massively, and as someone who hates leveling, I definitely prefer the more optimized and straightforward approach of Cataclysm. It feels more like following like a rested XP kind of guide, which I mean most people do, so I don't think this is going to be something that should divide the community as much as it will. This also adds the addition of flying, which is again quite a polarizing topic, but more mobility around Azeroth, being able to gather professions quicker, it's going to make Classic feel good. Second change is the Ethereals, which is the Void Storage, Reforging, and Transmog. You can finally look amazing. Now, I think this was just an overall W for Blizzard back in the day. Void Storage allows you to put items in long-term storage for gold, a feature that never really became popular back then, but still was nice in combination with Transmog. However, people have carried all of that gear along since vanilla now, especially on these characters that they've kept and transferred and all this other stuff. They're going to have a lot of gear. Being able to put all of that into long-term storage, just out of the way, still usable for transmog, is fantastic. Now, transmog encourages people to go and try and do old content or content they wouldn't normally do to gather gear to look cool. And some of the creativity people will come up with is insane. Now, Reforging is disgustingly good, turning 40% of a secondary stat into another of your choice. This really allows you to make use of all of that extra gear that you would normally disenchant or just not even look at in a raid. Now, third big change is guilds. I truly believe this is one of the bigger changes between the two expansions, and actually not one I'm a huge fan of. I believe they got this right in later expansions, but this was actually a step so far. Guilds now level up 1 to 25, with a base amount of experience to be gathered daily, and then weekly challenges to complete on top of that, including 7 dungeons with majority guildies, 1 raid done with majority guildies, and 3 rated battlegrounds with guildies. For your effort, you receive an abundance of rewards. Extra experience, extra honor, extra justice points, gold straight into the guild bank, mass res, mass summon. All of these things are incredible utility options. Portable guild bank. All of these are great utility options, but it is one of those things that it really did encourage very big 1,000-person guilds that spammed mass invite add-ons and really ruined a lot of the social aspects of being in a guild. Now, my fourth big change is raid lockouts. Now, this is assuming that Blizzard released the game on 4.3.4 state and don't make any changes. Both big assumptions. They've already talked about making changes and made quite severe changes in the game in Wrath, and they've already talked about in surveys how they'd like to make bigger changes in Cataclysm. If they release it like it is currently, then both 10, 25, and the heroic versions of these difficulties will share lockouts, which means you can only do one. There are pluses and minuses to that, like forcing guilds to decide which to raid, difficulty differences between them both. So, as an example, 10 requires more people to play better than on 25, but it's generally seen as being able to progress to heroic slightly quicker. You can jump between 10 and 25 and their heroic respective difficulties, if that makes sense. So if I raid 10 man, I can do one boss on normal, one boss on heroic, one boss on normal, as long as you don't obviously jump between like minor and major bosses, that sort of thing. It gets quite complicated, but overall, I think this is going to be something that actually is very, very badly received, especially after people are used to raiding 10 and 25 in Wrath. Now, finally, we have Raid Finder. Now, I know even just bringing this up is going to hurt some people, and trust me, I agree. I actually think this was one of the biggest Blizzard mistakes in Cataclysm. And I think given any chance they will not actually add this into Classic. For those that don't know, they added this story mode difficulty to Dragon Soul. It was released during Dragon Soul that allowed players to go in, clear the raid on next to no difficulty. You could fail every mechanic and still kill the boss, and you'd get given welfare epics, effectively. It almost felt mandatory for raiders to do because they wanted the tier pieces and certain items that were just extremely good. And yeah, it wasn't a very well received mechanic. So let me know what you guys think. What's your favourite and least favourite mechanic coming in Cataclysm? Thanks for watching. Bye.